What are you doing? Looking out the window? What to do with this room? I guess the first things I need to do is actually switch out these light bulbs, because these are the heat bulbs that were in here when I was trying to make this room like 1,000,000 degrees for the fennec foxes. Now that I have this empty room, I was thinking about why not making it a room to shoot in, do my arts and crafts stuff in, somewhere where I can actually get some stuff done that's not always computer based. All right, you can hold my hand, let's go. Let's go. We're walking around in circles. You're supposed to hold my hand. Can I sit here? Can I sit here and shoot a video? You want me to come with you? Are you trying to get me up? Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? I'm actually trying to think about what I'm gonna do with this empty room now that it's got nothing in it really. So I just finished cleaning out the floor. I'm planning on bringing my craft table up here, which is that big thing downstairs. This desk here, we're gonna put that desk upstairs. I'm gonna have to try and bring this up by myself. Luna, you think I can handle it? You think I can handle doing it all by myself? Or are you gonna get in my way and try to trip me downstairs? Well, I guess that explains it. You wanna go back outside before it starts raining? I kinda had a thought that this table would become kind of like a... What, not now you two? Can I shoot a video, Falcor and Luna, without being interrupted for once? I guess that's a no. So yeah, anyway. Falcor, you already ate. So my entire plan with this table is to bring it upstairs and kind of use it as a table that I can just film on. I'm sure that while filming this, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Dro, why is it all shaky? Well, because today, I got attacked in the face by a wolf dog. What? What do you want? Why? You're just trying to get my attention because I'm talking on camera? Trying to tell her something. Come up here. Come on. Come on. Join me. Join me in my video. Not with the tail to the face, though. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted from you. I don't want an attack from you. Can you just pretend that you're... No? Okay, fine. Jeez. So yeah, my video's a little bit shaky right now because I'm holding it in my hand and I'm actually holding it on... Let me pull this... on this little tiny tripod because the bigger one that I have broke. And I went to go... It was actually broken before, like right around the time I bought it, it broke. And I tried to fix it. The super glue gave way when I was tightening another camera on here. Let me show you. So you see the pin here where the camera goes? This completely came off. And the glue that holds all of this underneath here pretty much didn't hold. This is like a little cheap $14 one that I got at Walmart. So I think the next one I'm gonna have to get is actually the Gorilla Pod. I think it's like one of these that are like $100-something or like around $100, and the build quality of it's a lot better. This plastic thing always opens and falls apart when I have a heavy camera on it. It never actually stays up like I like it to. Whenever I have my phone on it, it's actually pretty easy to just grip around something and have it stay, kind of like if I wanted to do something like that and have it hold on, you know, while my phone is here, then it would work. But instead, for now, since that's broken, I'm using this. Which, you know, all of this like cheap little camera stuff that you get for shooting is, you actually get what you pay for. So the whole reason I wanted to make this video is because I told you guys that I was gonna actually be telling you more about that stabilizer I have. I can't ever win with these guys, right? Can I finish shooting and then we'll go play? Okay, so the whole reason that I even wanted to make this video today was because I promised you guys that I was going to show you the high-end stabilizer that I bought, and I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about it and how I use it for shooting my videos. So I had this great thought that I was just going to move my table upstairs, finish cleaning out that room, set everything up so I can shoot a really nice unboxing of this. But that was going to take too long, and I really wanted to show you guys how this thing is actually beneficial to your video making. I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything like that. I actually had the credit on Amazon that I used to purchase this. So I'm sure some of you guys out there that are also video makers are probably curious as to whether or not these more affordable gimbals are even worth it. So I think both yes and no. I'm just gonna sit here and tell you in all honesty what I think about it, how it works for me, and all of that. So when you open the box, this guy here comes wrapped inside, and it's a nice little carrying pouch for your stabilizer. When you open it up, here it is. A couple of cool things I like off the bat with this is once you have it fully charged, you can actually plug in a USB cable that it comes with here and attach that to your phone. And while your phone's plugged into this, you're actually charging your phone as well. So it's really good for like when I'm live streaming, that I can have it plugged in if my battery starts to die, or I can even plug it into another power bank. But I found that if I plug it into a power bank, I kind of still have to hold it. So usually what I do is I just kind of hold it like this. Another cool thing that I like about this gimbal is that the head that actually holds your phone, there's a thumb screw back here, and you can actually change the orientation of how your phone sits. So while this thing's on, here, let me just show you. So there you have it while it's holding the phone in horizontal mode, and then let me switch it over to vertical mode to show you what that looks like. Now it's in vertical mode, and you can actually go running around with the camera this way if you needed it to be vertical. If you guys shoot in vertical, I'm gonna make fun of you. Just know that right now. It does have an extra thumb screw here on the side where you can actually extend the arm. And that's basically so you can counterweight a bigger phone. I've realized that when I have my OtterBox case on my S9, it actually doesn't hold it properly unless you fix that. See, like for example, right now, you see how it's like, it's not counterweighted properly and it kind of just dangles there. And if I hold it sideways, it doesn't really even hold the phone up properly. It's just kind of like not doing what it's supposed to. So once you have the phone counterweighted correctly, it'll actually stay back up the way it's supposed to. It does also come with an app that you can install on your phone, and you can control this via Bluetooth. So if you wanted to have it change where in the middle of shooting, you want it to put the phone up or down, you see how it's rotating there? That way you kind of have the option to plug it into a tripod if you wanted to, and then you can control this whole thing remotely. You can set it up to like pan and tilt and all of that. And you can even set it up with a follow feature where the app will follow you if you're walking back and forth in a room. It'll actually cause this to turn and follow you depending on where the pixels are moving on the screen. And if you look right now, I can take this button here that I can move it up and down with, so you can change the direction that this is pointing in. It won't go left to right or anything because you have to actually change the mode on it. It's got a couple of different modes, so I just hit the mode button 3 times and you see now I can actually rotate it. I can go up or down. Inside the manual, they actually have a nice little chart here that shows you how all the modes work and how you can get back and forth between the modes. So there's 3 different modes that you can set this thing on. I'm going to read to you the 3 different modes and what they do, and then I'll explain to you how they work for me. So the pan following mode, it makes the smartphone pans left to right following the movement of the stabilizer while the tilt and roll axles are locked. Push the joystick up and down and it allows manual control of the tilt axis. So the way that this works is anything that I'm pointing at, it's going to keep pointing at. No matter how I move or rotate this gimbal, it's going to try and keep it as stable as possible and pointed at the same thing. So like right now I'm pointed to you guys, and even if I turn around and I'm walking around something, it's actually going to stay pointed to that item.
What this does is that as you move the gimbal to the right or to the left, it will slowly compensate for that movement and pan that direction. But it won't tilt up or down unless you specifically tell it to do that with the joystick on the control handle.
The second one is locking mode. This mode actually locks the movement on all 3 of the gimbal axes. You can push the joystick up or down or left or right to actually move the position that it's working in. So right now I can move it up and down and it'll let me actually move that. Now, if I start turning the actual gimbal, you can see it's still pointing to the same item no matter how I turn this.
This is a mode that I use actually quite a lot as well, especially when I'm doing those crane shots with a monopod like I described earlier. The locking mode actually keeps the phone camera pointed in the same direction no matter which way you move the gimbal. And this works really, really well for those crane shots.
The last mode, which is the following mode, if I turn the gimbal handle, you see how the actual smartphone turns with it. So this one's kind of cool if you want to follow something by turning your hand. So the way that you would actually have the camera do a pan is you would just rotate the handle and it'll rotate with you and it'll just make sure that it's a smooth movement.
The final mode is the pan and tilt following mode. This is very much like the pan following mode, except it also adds tilt. What I mean by that is if you double press the mode button, it puts you in this pan and tilt following mode. Then as you turn the handle right or left, the camera gimbal will slowly follow and pan right or left, but also the same thing when you point the gimbal up or down, it will slowly compensate and point the camera up or down.
So these different modes do take a little bit of getting used to. Like any new gear, it takes playing around with it before you can learn the way that it works and all of the problems it has. I really do like this, especially compared to the one that I got years ago for the GoPro. The one that I got for the GoPro was all messed up and broken right now, so don't mind that it looks like hell. So let me grab it to show you guys real quick. This one's actually made by the same company. The way that it works is pretty similar, and it even has a little GoPro connection here, and then it's got a tripod mount on the bottom. And the GoPro one, you know, it worked pretty decent, but I found that while I was hiking, it would just turn off. So while it's holding the GoPro up, all of a sudden, the thing would just flop down, and I would ruin the shot and whatever I was filming. So I took the handle apart for this, and there was a couple things that I noticed that was wrong with it. And one of them, one of the buttons was broken, so I'll probably have to solder a new one in there, or maybe I can even glue something down to that button so that when I put the cap back on, if I push down on it, it still hits the button correctly. The other thing I noticed is that I thought it was the wire that was messed up, so I made a new cable. I bought the ends and I made a new cable, I connected it all up, and it was still giving me the same problem. So I knew that since it worked, the cable wasn't the problem anymore, and I figured out that I think it's something to do with this button down here. There's like a button that you turn it on and off. This button actually has like a spring down on the bottom, and I think the way that it works is when you hit this switch, it makes a connection inside that will turn it on and off. I think that switch is actually broken, so every time that I'm walking, it'll disconnect the connection that the switch is supposed to make, and then all of a sudden the power just goes off and the thing just flops down and dies out. I've been working on trying to figure out a way to fix this button so that I can not have this problem anymore. This version that holds your cell phone actually fixed that issue because the button to turn it on and off is right here on the handle. So you're not messing with something like that, and these buttons actually work better. In my opinion, this one seemed to have broken in under a year. This I just got, so who knows how long this is going to last. I'm just going to keep using it, and I'll let you guys know how it works out. So there's only a few times when I've been using this one and even the GoPro one where all of a sudden it just starts going out of whack and it won't keep the camera stabilized. It just kind of starts jittering or doing weird stuff, and then I found that the solution is usually just turn it completely off and then turn it back on, and it works better. This one's supposed to be a little bit more weatherproof than the GoPro one was too. Light rain, dust, and all that, and not really have too many problems. It's even got a cover down on the bottom so you can cover up the USB port. Obviously, I don't suggest using this kind of stuff outside when it's raining, but every once in a while you might get into a problem where you get stuck in a storm and some of your equipment gets wet, and you can at least know that it's not going to die right away just from getting a couple drops of water on it. I'm glad that a lot of these new pieces of gear that are coming out, that they do pretty much make it weatherproof so you don't have these issues. Now, to talk about a couple of the downsides of this thing, my S9 with the OtterBox case on it is a little too heavy for this. So I do end up being able to stabilize it with moving this arm out more. So you can kind of fix the center of gravity on it. It will work when I'm filming with it, but as soon as I put like an extra lens on my phone or anything else like that, it just droops down and it can't actually hold the weight. The best way to use this is to actually make sure that your phone isn't in a case, so it's just bare like this one is. You just have to be really careful that you have the phone attached properly because it could come falling out. This clamp that holds down your phone is pretty tight. Like, I can't just pull my phone out of here. I have to actually open this with my hands and, you know, to pull my phone out. So it does hold your phone pretty sturdy. I found myself just being way more careful when I do have my phone in this thing without a case, because the last thing I need is for it to fall down and break. I really wish that these motors were strong enough to hold the lenses on the phone, but unfortunately it's not. So when that happens, I have to move to one of these little tripods like the one I was showing you earlier in the video. Now, for the moment that you guys have all been waiting for, I'm sure you want to see what the difference is from when I'm using this versus when I'm not using it. But first, I'm going to run around with my phone, holding it up like this on the little tripod that I showed you earlier. So let's go running. I'm going to go up the stairs. I know this is silly shit. Let me turn on the light so you guys can see this better. So I'm gonna run around my house like a maniac, kind of give you an idea of how this thing works. All right, so now that I have the gimbal attached, I'm gonna go ahead and do that same run, and we're gonna see whether or not we can actually get this thing to stay a lot more stable. So this is me walking around the house with the stabilizer. Let me just give you an idea. Now I'm gonna go down the stairs. Alright, so here's a test with me holding the phone in my hand with no gimbal, no tripod. And I'll walk around the house so you guys can see the difference in that. Go up the stairs. So this is probably shaky. I don't know which one's shakier, holding a tripod shakier or just holding the phone out with my hand. But I guess we will see when I go back and play back the footage. I hope you guys enjoy this quick review of the Smooth Q gimbal, and I want to do some more videos like this because I do have, you know, camera and tech gear that I use to do all my videos, and I never really get to share with you guys exactly how I do that or what I use. And I'm always asked by people like, what did you shoot that with? How did you shoot that? And you see I have like different lenses up here. I finally set up these little shelves here so I can put my camera gear, and it'll make it really easy for me to just grab stuff and go. And I've got some of my bags down here. I'll have to find another place for it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you some of the gear that I have and tell you guys more about it and how I use it and how it helps me do my videos. And maybe it'll inspire some of you guys to do the same. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And now I'm going to take the rest of my time to move that stupid table upstairs and finish setting up that other room so we can shoot videos in it. Alright, have a good one. Bye! Come on, Luna, we're gonna test out the camera, okay? I'm gonna walk around with Luna, and this is without the stabilizer. Okay. You stay there, Luna. She's like, nope, I'm coming with you wherever you're going. Alright, hold on, I gotta put the stabilizer on. Wait, stop trying to bite my arm. Hold on, you butthead. Alright, and here's pretty much that same footage with the stabilizer on. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys can tell the difference when I'm walking around with the stabilizer versus when I'm not.